Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakaha, Badash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M, Akwaf, that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawah, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And so this young fella you see right here, I'm not sure if he's a Edomite. He could be. I don't think he's Northern Kingdom. I don't know. Who knows? But it's not a skin color thing, you know, when it comes to this Israelite thing of ours. But this guy, he's a Cornell student, right? Who won't work for the JEW, you know, the JEWs, the small tops. He says he won't work for them. Is a symptom of a far darker hatred that must be stopped. This is in a New York Post. So it says, as if you needed more reasons to worry about America's future, now we have Austin Franco. The 19-year-old Cornell student logged on to the school's job board recently and applied for a summer internship with a New York-based startup. But when invited for an interview, he declined to show up. The reason he gave, not interested in working for a Jew. The Ivy League school, no surprises there, released an embarrassingly idiotic statement accusing Franco of being in violation of the university's online job board's term of service and announcing it will further investigate Franco. Yeah, they're going to be on his ass. And then at the same time, too, he's 19. You know, you got Israel and America pretty much in the early stages of merging their militaries together. And then you got this draft coming up where they're automatically going to be put into the draft registry, so to speak. And this guy right here, he has no idea. Your full-time job will be over there fighting for them people. But they're going to draft your low ass. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be, unless you got some parents that's got some cash or got some money. And then you know, these people are in control. Matter of fact, if this is an Edomite, you're the same people, just different tribe. That's all. Amalek done fooled the world into thinking that they're not so-called white people. We're not the same as these Europeans. We're not the same as these so-called Caucasians. We're different. No, the fuck you're not. You're all Edomites. But they have used that money, that media, very, very well to fool the people into thinking that, oh, this is a different set of white people. You know, they just look like white people. They're not actually so-called white people. They're the holy people. The hell out of here, man. Okay, but it says the administrators and Ithaca needn't bother. No further investigation is necessary because Franco isn't the problem. He's merely a symptom of something far darker. A hatred that, left unchecked, may have disastrous consequences. See? So it's a lot going on, man. Now I know here yesterday, right? There was you know, they have like what they call adopt a mile, right? Where you you know, you adopt a mile of the freeway or highway or roadway, and you keep that mile clean. You pick up the paper, your cups, you know, plastics, whatever. You keeping it clean. You can adopt a mile. I'm not sure if it's compensation that comes with it, but you had some Palestinians here, and they had adopted a mile, but I guess it was near something, you know, one of these synagogues or something like that. So they canceled their shit. You know what I'm saying? I was on the news yesterday. So it's certain types of stuff where, see, it's you that's got people that's really just coming down on you. That really just you're the ones that's causing the hatred towards yourself. And they don't get it. But they have this power, and they're so damn arrogant, and they're so damn proud to the point where they just like, fuck it, we don't care. You know, we going to do what we going to do. You know? And you're going to go with it. But at the same time, too, see, this is that division. And that's the scripture that I wanted to kind of touch on. Because it's division amongst these Edomites. Because they are both the same people. Again, just different tribes. That's all. But let's get what Yahushua spoke of. And this is, and I think in matter of fact, in the NLT, it talks about civil war. I seen one of the Arrow of Indignation videos. I think it was him and some damn Jake talking about ain't gonna be no civil war here. You can forget about it. Ain't gonna be no Jacob. Ain't gonna be no civil war here. America is too, the military is too diverse, and it's not what it used to. You can forget some older Jake, man. It's crazy as hell. No, it's coming here, buddy. It's coming here. It's gonna be a lot of pew pew going on soon, real soon. Matthew 12:25. And they're known, and Yahushai, which we call the true name of the Father and Son, Yahweh and Yahushai, those are the true names of the Father and Son. Yahweh meaning he exists, or the existing one, and the true name of his son is Yahushai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. His name is Yahushai, which means that he's the Savior or deliverer in the Paleo Hebrew. There's no letter J, E, O, U, or V. J, E, O, U, or V in the Hebrew alphabet. The letter J was invented in 1524 by a grammarian named Giorgio Trissino. You can look it up. There was no letter J 2,000 years ago. The Lord's name is not Jesus, and he for sure wasn't one of these so-called white people. So let's just get that out of the way. Matthew 12:25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So Esau is divided against themselves. And actually, it really hurts Esau, because the same way that Esau, basically, that curse landed on him as well, because he tried so hard. He sowed the seed of trying so hard to keep us from knowing who we are, that their people don't even know who they are. Because you think that if that they will want them to, what up though? What's good? What's good? You think that they will want them to all to be together. You know what I'm saying? And that way they'll have numbers. Because see, the Lord has made them small amongst the heathen. They are greatly despised on both ends of the spectrum, all tribes of them, no matter where they are, whether they're in Germany, Ukraine, Russia, Italy, wherever they are, they're greatly despised, and they're small, and they've been separated, basically. See, it's the same way, pretty much what they done with Jake. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans scattered throughout all the four corners of the earth. Now, the thing with us is we don't have shit, but they're all separated. This is our flag. This is our continent. You know what I'm saying? We have this particular military might. They all have military might, and you think that if they would just use common sense, but that's the Lord got them all fucked up. Because you think they will all come together and say, hey, look, we got all the money. We got all the oil. And that's just like I was listening to the Elder Malcolm GMS camp sit down. They was doing a sit down Sunday, and they was talking about like, God damn, nigga, you got everything. Why don't you just get some pussy, man? Sit your ass down. Drive your Maserati. Drive your Bentley, man. Pop some of them bottles, man. You got all that old ass wine in the cellar. Live it up. This is your kingdom. Here you go. You out here. You worried about Jake getting some food stamps. You know what I'm saying? You got all this fucking wealth. You got all this military might. You think that they will all come together and say, you know what? We're dying off quicker than we're being born. Right? Which we know that the Father is the Lord, Yahweh, is the Father of spirits. So it's really nothing they can do about that. But I'm just saying in general, you think they would come together and say, hey, look, we got a problem. We're not having children like we used to. You got a few men that's hoarding up the wealth. We're going to need you to come up off some of that money. You know what I'm saying? Put together some communities. Give the people some land. Let them learn how to farm. Let them learn how to. Let's get rid of all this GMO ass food that's killing our sperm cells and shit. Let's get together and bring our nation back. You think they would do that? They got all this might, bro. You got all you. That's how we know Job 9:24 when it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It's really talking about them. Because they really got all the might, bro, to do whatever the fuck they want. But they don't have... See, the Lord, that's how you know that they're the bases of men. That Daniel 4:17. The Lord has set up over the planet the bases of men, because these people stupid as hell. You back and forth fighting with the people that you done conquered. You done conquered us, nigga. We done. All you got to do is keep pushing Jake, giving Jake blunts and weed and some hoes. And give him this stupid ass rap music, give him that basketball and that football bullshit, and these niggas, you ain't gonna ever have no problems out of them. They through. See, but anyway, Matthew 12, it is what it is, man. Matthew 12:25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So if you got these Edomites over in Israel against these Edomites over here in America, and the Edomites in Russia against the Edomites in Ukraine, and you got the Edomites in France and all these NATO nations coming up and going against each other, then what do you think is going to happen? Which is prophetic again. Anyway, the Lord is going to have those missiles come this way. But in the meanwhile, you have a lot of so-called white people here in Americas, and they mad at Trump too, because Trump pushing the bullshit, and he's not helping the nation out. He's not helping their own people out. He has totally left Make America Great Again to make Israel great again. And they mad too about I just was watching Euro News. It's lucky it's windy as shit out here. It's been raining. Hopefully the sound is all right. I'm gonna try and make it back this way towards the crib. But anyway, I was just watching on Euro News, and they was talking about how pissed these Israelis are with Trump about this decision that he done made with Iran. They like, no, we not with it. We don't, we don't want this shit to stop. We want that uranium. We want to basically conquer that area for our greater Israel project. But see, Trump, it's like he's coming around on his 250th birthday of America, a couple of weeks. His poll numbers are down. He's down and really looking doofy in the poll numbers. His own people are coming up against him. He tried to throw that little UFC bullshit ass bread and circus. That shit was trash. He had to shut down the damn concert because nobody wanted to show up and perform. That was trash. This nigga show up in New York, and the only game that New York, the Knicks lost was the game that he popped his janky ass up at. But anyway, they're pissed with him, man, about that. I was just watching this guy. They pissed with him. Ain't no telling. They might fuck around and knock his ass off or expose him in those Epstein files or something. But the thing of it is this division that's going on. So let's go back into some of this article with this dude. I mean, it's simple overall. You got a lot of these younger, they're running around out here with these polo shirts and khakis on, with the mask on, with the American flags. They're marching through the streets and shit. And they're pissed, bro. They're pissed with the fact that, the so-called black man is out here riding down their women. They're not being respected. Everybody is looking down on them. Everybody is talking down on them. And they ready to, all those arms that they're bearing, they ready to let them pews go, man. Anyway. Okay, so it says, basically it says, Franco isn't the problem. He's merely a symptom of something far darker, a hatred that, left unchecked, may have disastrous consequences. What is it? Since the story broke, enraged pundits referred to Franco's attitude as anti-Sem. But that, alas, is a misnomer, a distraction that, if we're not careful, could keep us from identifying and therefore solving the real problem. Anti-Semitic Cornell student turns down, okay, that's the same thing. Because the real problem isn't that a dim and arrogant college kid somewhere dislikes Jews. It's that we now live in an America where being openly, even proudly, anti-Semitic is a form of social clout. When given a chance to clarify a statement, Franco doubled down. He like, I'm sticking to that. Now check this out though. So did his supporters. A crowdfunding effort was quickly launched to reward Franco for his bigotry, raising more than $13,000 in just a few days. Hey, shit, that's more than some Jake making a year, man, at a fast food restaurant. You got a grown ass man or a woman in their 40s working at Taco Bell don't make that kind of money, and he got it in a few days. And see, this is why I'm thinking it's an Edomite, because they're not in trouble as other men, first off. And then, but this shows you, and it could grow. This is just a few days, you know what I'm saying? Because see, these you got these so-called, these so-called white people, they not with that Israel shit, man. They're tired of being sucked dry. They don't want nothing to do with Israel. They don't want nothing to do with those wars. They're mad about them being able to go to college for free off of them. They're mad about them being able to, have free housing and getting, all these billions of dollars that America is sending there yearly. They're sick of that shit. So there's a real hatred, and we know throughout history You know, if you go into history, these people have been run out of plenty of lands because of the same shit. Because they're damn parasitical, man. Anyway, it says, and that's a problem. So he got $13,000, bro. So who you know in the hood that's like, oh, this nigga like, oh, that nigga, oh, nigga, you what? You don't want to work for who? Oh, nigga, you gonna work for whoever's offering a goddamn job. I don't give a fuck who it is. You know they ain't about to offer Jake a damn dime. Oh, you don't want to work for the Mexican. You don't want to work for the white man. Oh, well, let's start a GoFundMe for this nigga. This nigga is brilliant. Get the hell out of here, man. It said, and that's a problem because anti-Semitism, as any semi-serious student of history knows, is a virus that has a nasty way of devouring any host society that lets it spread unchecked. And see, that, you know, Jake been going through it for hundreds of years here, man. And they don't have no laws to protect us like how they have laws to protect these people. But the Lord gonna check them, man. And the Lord is just riling things up. That's all. Says it's a tricky yet crucial insight to understand. Anti-Semitism has absolutely nothing to do with actual Jews, which is why it can surge uninterruptedly, even in societies like those in the Arab world, which have long ago expelled or executed all their Jewish citizens. Instead, it's a unique strand of moral and intellectual rot, highly resistant to reason or logic, which metastasizes and completely consumes its host culture. See? That a student in one of America's most celebrated academic institutions feel is not only right, but also righteous to publicly hate Jews should tell you everything you need to know about what anti-Semitism is doing to the American mind. Well, why don't you just, what the fuck are y'all doing here? Why aren't you in the Holy Land? That's my thing. I ain't no goddamn way I'd be in no other country if I was, you know, you think, come on, bro. You supposedly be the holy people. You got the land over there. And you're tearing up other shit and gathering more land. So why are you in places that people don't like you? I would rather go and be around my people. Shit, you got an Iron Dome. Here you go. You in all these different cities, all these different countries and continents. And you know why they really don't want to be in Israel? Because Israel is over there getting bombed the shit out of. They don't want to be over there and know that Iran got missile capability of striking that motherfucker every day. Come on, bro. You everywhere in the world fussing about other people's culture and fussing about other people. Why don't you just go to the land? You should want to be in the Holy Land. Why not? Okay, anyway. It says, but if it doesn't, spend 2 minutes watching Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens or any number of popular podcasters. And see, people got their own mind, man. People got their own mind. All that old, you know, you trying to control, you buying TikTok and you censoring people on all these platforms and shit. And doing all that ain't doing nothing but making people hate y'all asses even more, because it's proving that you're actually the ones that's in power and own all this shit and people sick of it. People can say something true about you and then it's anti-Semitism. Anything that's being said about you, you throwing around that word. So people don't even really know what the actual word actually really means. Because it's not even Sim. It actually should be Shem. Because his name is Shem with a H. S-H-E-M, not S-E-M. Okay, but anyway, you know, we're going to, you know, finish this up. It says, there you'll hear nothing but terrifying and patently moronic tales of the Jews, the J-O-O's, they have it written out, being guilty of everything from running pedophile rings that control the American government to assassinating Charlie Kirk. It doesn't take an Ivy League degree to understand that this is deranged third world way of thinking is profoundly un-American. No, it's exactly American. America was formed on violence and hatred. What the fuck is you talking about? This is the most hateful place on the planet. What are you thinking? Come on, bro. Or that a society that accepts such drivel as legitimate popular discourse is a society at risk of collapsing. Well, it's going to collapse anyway. This place is not going to last any further, man. This place is through. and it's gonna collapse with that civil war. It says the answer, thankfully, is simple: stop combating anti-Semitism, an effort into which everyone from the federal government to the organized American Jewish community is currently pouring tremendous resources these days. And it's crazy because you're the only ones that's getting this type of treatment. There's laws on the books that supposedly protect every citizen. Why do you get an extra law? See? Why do you get an extra hate crime? This is the kind of shit that people seeing and it's pissing them off. You're stirring the anti-Semitism pot, man. You're making yourself a damn target. Anyway, it says it's an anonymous waste of time and money because anti-Semitism, the world's oldest hatred, isn't something we're going to solve anytime soon. Well, the real Jews, the real anti-Jewish hate is towards the so-called blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, basically, or the Israelites. We're the real Israelites. It says the problem of no longer knowing what it is that we believe, defining and defending our core common American virtues is hard. Hissing that our problems are due to the nefarious interference of a shadowy minority is much easier. We must resist this temptation at all costs and by any means necessary. We can set up a federal task force to make sure our shared values, liberty and dignity, to name but two, are taught vigorously and at every level of education. So they want to re-educate your ass, man, on loving them and fuck yourself. You just take your ass to work, and we gonna do what we need with them taxes that you that we get from you, you know. And I'm telling you, man, it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot because people, these so-called white people, they see this shit and they're pissed about it. It says let me get that back again. It says we can set up a federal task force to make sure our shared values, liberty and dignity, to name but two, are taught vigorously and at every level of education. So they want to get your babies as soon as they become, in preschool, before they learn their ABCs. They want you to know that these people are being talked about. Crazy work, bro. We can reinstate the draft, not only for the military, but for mandatory public services as well, giving young Americans a deep and real sense of community. So they're like, yeah, we're going to put your ass in the military. We can invest mightily in cultural startups dedicated not to tearing down America's past, but to propping up its future. And what future you think that is? You think it's future for you Americans are already struggling. You're paycheck to paycheck now. You one paycheck away. If you miss 1 week of work, your ass is done. And in the meanwhile, that last paycheck that you do get, Israel gonna get a cut of it out of them taxes, baby. It says, but whatever we do, we need to do it urgently before more of our children are failed by the un-American infection currently eating their brains. See that? And you see what name it is. Lael Leibovitz is editor at large for the tablet. And see, so you know who wrote you. Small Top wrote this. Matter of fact, let's see if we can get this guy. Let's see if we can get a photo of this guy here. Small Top wrote this for y'all. This dude said he don't want to work for no Jew, man. There you go. See? There you go. You already know what it is. See? He was born in Tel Aviv, Yafo. What are they doing over in Tel Aviv right about now? And it's Pride Month. You already know what it is. Look at this dude. Just another Edomite. He's an Edomite. He's no different than that so-called white boy that said he didn't want to work for one of them. They're the same people. Just different tribes. Again. So, matter of fact, let me get one more script, my favorite. Because we don't give a shit about this. Because the Lord is doing this. The Lord is doing this, man. Well, I won't say it like that. We do care. Because this is prophecy. That the Lord is breaking you down, man. And you've lied to your own people. You've lied to the rest of your people. When y'all should be grouping up together and moving as a body, like how how Yahweh wants us to move. We move as a body. We don't get up and leave a leg on the couch. We move as a body. So you so-called white people in general, overall, globally, you should be all moving together. But what has this man done? He has separated you all. That discord that he caused amongst all the other nations is now amongst you. Ecclesiasticus 25:7, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and a 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing the fall of our enemies, man. And we can't be afraid or ashamed to say it. We got to bring these scriptures out, point these people out, and tell the world you are not the holy people. Because if you was, and you really fit the prophecies, you wouldn't be having the problems that you have. Because when we go back into the land, we're not going to have no hate. Ain't nobody going to be fucking with us. We're not going to need, America going to be through anyway. We're not going to need another nation to back our military. Here you go, you're riding the coattail of America's military. Because you couldn't do none of the shit that you're doing without America. You couldn't be over there doing all that shit you're doing over there in what you call in what the fuck they call it, you know, which is they calling it damn, this shit on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, you wouldn't be in that land fucking up all those places and causing all that chaos for all your neighbors, man, around you, if it wasn't for America. Because they would have been set your ass in place. And that's the reason why you know they so pissed with Iran, because Iran has really pretty much he done stomped y'all. Them people done stomped y'all out. Those people with the little that they had fucked you and America over. Crazy work, bro. Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So the Lord got these curses on y'all, man. And you still got, you still got to go. You got money still. You still got your military. You still got, but the Lord is stripping all that shit, man. It's being stripped. So I'm going to end out there. I just found this to be funny. It really is hilarious, you know. This dude said, I don't want to work for one of y'all. Look at him. That's crazy work right there. Let me see. Hold on. I ain't even want to go on this. I ain't want to do all that. I just wanted to see if I can get a close. Here we go. Look at this dude. There you go. Yeah, man. Hey, these Americans. Hey, this younger and this younger generation. They've lost that younger generation. That's over with. This younger generation is not them old ass baby boomers that was just, you run out on a corner and you give a nigga a nickel for a newspaper. No, these days your newspaper is this goddamn media, this social media, and people are able. That's where you're getting all your news from. Matter of fact, these news networks, by the time you see some shit on TV, they actually getting their news from somebody that's already cell phone recorded it. That's pretty much where your damn news is coming from these days, and they can't stop it. The damage has been done. You've lost that information war. That information war is a done deal. And that's the reason why you had Benjamin Netanyahu talking about, he mentioned it specifically. We have to get in control of this social media. We have to. Remember, they had all those pastors come over there talking about their ambassadors to Israel. And they, gave them these orders to come back to the Americas and try and get you young people straight. We have to get them back to believing in Israel. Well, guess what? These people, they done saw all the shit that you done to Gaza. The images are ingrained in the people now. You can't get rid of that. So Esau, only thing that he can do is he's going to come down with great wrath. And I wouldn't even be surprised about a false flag, a FF, you know what I'm saying, coming for your 250th anniversary. I wouldn't be surprised if these motherfuckers don't ain't no telling what the fuck these people about to do to shut this bitch down and get y'all shit, get y'all asses back in order, because they've lost all that. There's nothing else they can do but come with force. That's it. All else is lost. Oh shit, Salakia. But anyway, I'm gonna end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala and a Baba Ball. This nigga like, hell nah, nigga. God damn, y'all got that car loaded down. 20 people in that little bitty ass car. Clown car. Anyway, with that, Shalom.